Growing up in Yonkers, New York, we didn't know what was good for us. If you walk down the block in the hood, it's nearly impossible to find something healthy to put in your body. We were consuming whatever was made available to us. We didn't have the knowledge or the opportunity that we do now. And that's exactly what we're trying to give to our community.
In the poor communities, it's mostly the money gets invested in liquor stores and kind of things we really don't need.
The people that live in communities like this, they really essentially lost their access to fresh food.
You're gonna get out what you put into your body. We didn't know, all we knew was running to the fast food spots or running to get slices, big bags of candy, chips, donuts. It's a bunch of garbage.
Is this an access problem or an education problem?
You don't know the options aren't good. Those are good options to you. You know what I mean? You just out eating.
I'm on the school belief that this is an access problem.
Styles P and Jada mean a whole lot to the community.
If you don't know who Jada and Styles P is, then basically you've been sleeping under a rock.
Jadakiss and Styles P are partners in the Juices for Life business. They also platinum recording artists that come from a group called the Lox. These are people who came from the same streets we came up in, and they had the same struggles that we had.
Our juice bars are opened in the hoods on purpose to educate our people on health awareness.
Most of the hood don't go to the doctor. Most of the hood don't have health insurance. Like, you know, and so we have to find a way to prevent. We even tell you about acne, allergies, anemia, arthritis, asthma, body cleanser, bronchitis, cancer.
Lacking fresh food has caused them an accelerated rate of obesity.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, all type of ailments.
So they end up in emergency rooms. The most uninsured people, the most sick, using the most expensive form of healthcare to cure that problem. So we have a very illogical system today.
Just to give yourself some more years, you need to put life into your body. You know, I lost both sets of my grandparents, along with a couple uncles and a lot of family, aunts.
It was a time I just really needed to change my life, to be honest with you. Like, I knew I was on the road a lot, show by show, night by night, barely sleeping, catching cases, trouble on the streets, fighting. I knew I needed balance.
I used to feel sluggish, though.
My attitude was wrong, and just things were wrong.
And then as time changed, people changed. You evolve and you learn about taking care of the body.
When I started seeing change in my thought process is when I really had the utmost respect for it.
What Jadakiss and Styles P are doing, they're successful and they don't need to be concerned about society.
People come at us every day with all type of incredible ideas to invest our money, but that was cost efficient and it was just a good thing to do.
They're deciding to use their success to make a difference for people. I think if we all did that, we'd fix a lot of our country's problems.
Sometimes we actually do catch a loss here and there, but we want you to spread the word of juicing.
People come up every day and thank us for putting the juice bars in the hood.
When I first walked in and I saw what the brothers were doing, I was so proud.
I think it's very important that we have things like this in my neighborhood.
There weren't any juice bars that I remember of growing up. They're out here and it's about a health thing. And now you have an option.
So they wanted to do the same thing for the people. It wasn't really like, yo, we're gonna get this money. Because you know, you're rappers. You wanna get money, we go rap.
It creates a positive habit for us to grow up and to have a better understanding of what we're supposed to put in our bodies.
You put the right things in, fruits and vegetables, your thoughts are gonna be cleaner.
It just changes the whole mindset of a person.
This is already legendary and it's making a big impact.
We're here for a cause, man.
We juicing.
Because it's a way of life.
The presence of any Juices for Life is all love is love.
But this is bigger than me. It's bigger than us.
That's from the hardest of the hardest trio of rap.
It's something you should spread the word on. You're not too cool. You're not too gangster. You're not too fly. You're not too anything to say, hey, here's something good to do. Do it.
There's nothing soft about juicing.
There is a major need for education on transgender issues. I think that society needs to.
Love is love. Hip hop. It's crazy. Islam Moors. Canaanland Moors. We're here. So make sure you go check out Jadakiss and Styles P, because they got a juice store. Hip hop has a juice store. Isn't that commerce? Isn't that Moors? And they're doing something that's, you know what I mean, for the people. They're not trying to get fiat and get money and pose with the money and all that. For the people. And they have fiat. Whether it's credit line or whatever. Whether it's a corporation that they did it, whether it was handed down to them from their family, whether they worked hard for it. They're being Moors. They're being Moors. Black people don't do that. Black people want to set up a table on the street corner and make videos. I'm Moor Science Temple of America. We have a building. It's small, you know what I'm saying? But we have a building. We have a location. We sell stuff out of, because Moors, that's what we do. So Islam to the Moors for starting up their stuff. Metro, Cracker, Devil newspaper. You know, the Devil newspaper. The white man's newspaper. The white man. The devil. Monday, August 31st, to close out the month. I mean, so nobody has any excuses or whatever. Right? Now, okay, I'm not gonna say. Let's just do this. Why? Why? Why would they just? Why would they just do this? Why? For what reason? This is a newspaper. If they're saying propaganda and the white man and whatever, then everything that he does is for a reason. Okay, so let's ask ourselves the question, why did the white man, the cracker, do this? Why? What's the purpose? Because there's enough room that they could have wrote Beyonce. They could have wrote her full last name. They're graphic artists and all that stuff. Like, why are they calling her Bae all of a sudden? No, this is something, you know that this is something new. You could play stupid games because I had all her CDs. They just start calling her Bae. What are they calling her Bae for? Openly. Just because? And you don't want to be Moors. These guys have a juice bar being Moors. They're putting her in the newspaper with Bae there. Her name's Beyonce. Why don't they call her by her name? Well, but they don't recognize Moors though. So, they don't recognize Moors. They don't recognize Moors. Don't forget, right? The white man does not recognize Moors. Remember that. Remember, this has nothing to do with you. You know, the bucket hat and, you know what I mean, ice bucket on my head and, you know what I mean, a penis right here. You know, that's what this is. Remember, that's what this is. And we're going to go to the congressional record, just for the record, you know, because there are people talking crap. Why your class sucks? All you do is just read to people. Yeah, let's read to people. Let's read to people. Since they want to play stupid. Playing stupid. We'll just go right to it. This is Congressional Record Proceedings and Debates. Volume 12. United States Congress. You know, Congress, people who you guys say is the white man and they're the devil and all that stuff, those guys. In the days when your fathers called them blackamoors, and when they were proper traffic, that sympathy was not so lively, conscience was not then so quickened. But though we had brought the property and paid you for it, and owned it, and thought it had been a condition precedent to the formation of the Union and the adoption of the Constitution, that you would agree to surrender fugitives to us when they fled. And though you had agreed to this, yet those high moral ideas of civilization, as contrasted with barbarism, rose to such a sublime height finally that you could not carry out the compact and your conscience would not permit it. So the cracker knows that we're blackamoors and that we were in bondage, servitude. This is the congressional record. This is the white man stuff. This is the white supremacist stuff. United States and all that. United Snakes and America with a triple K and all that. That's this stuff right here. So remember, this is just the bucket hat penis on the string thing, right? This is not Moors and nationality. This is foolish. You don't want to be done with this. This is stupid. This is very stupid. Honorable gentlemen, the youngest in the corps, in putting down an admiration 30 years ago, and I should be happy to aid in doing the same now, and I should be proud of what I am sure I should receive, his aid and comfort in the process. So these blackamoors have been whitewashed, and they are all converted into Irishmen. A more mischievous or a more wicked misrepresentation was never seen abroad than that. There wasn't a bigger misrepresentation than these so-called Irishmen really being blackamoors. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Go have a beer. They're celebrating you not being blackamoors. With your green star color in everything on that day. This is not about the Moors. Remember, this is some cult or whatever like that. You don't want to get down with this. You know, sacrificing stuff and all that. You don't want to get down with this. Just make sure we put this on the record already. Make sure you go check out for the record that the NFL crackers, remember this is the crackers, right? The crackers allow somebody called Bay to play in the NFL because they hate Moors. They don't like Moors. You know, they don't want niggers on the court and all that type of stuff. But Darius Hayward Bay, let's go check that name out. Darrius Hayward, Heward hyphen Bay. They gotta make sure they got the hyphen in there. Alright? NFL. And there's more. Islam to the Moors that, you know, frequent Canaanland Moors. And that used to play in the NFL, retired now, got millions, and you don't care about the millions, you know about your nationality and birthright. Islam to you Moors, because we haven't built it in a long time. But just so people know, that's how real it is. And don't forget, we have to say Islam to the heavyweight champion, you know, for all the boxing guys out there, you know, David Bay, you know, the boxer. Yeah. The boxer guy who made Buster Douglas. David Bay. No hyphen on that one. No hyphen. He has the David though, but you know, European name, but no hyphen on the Bay. But you know, you don't want nothing to do with this. Because Moors are, you know, they know what they're talking about. Speaking about congressional record, Black American representatives and senators by Congress, 1870 to present. And then because it was free, you know, you got 28 pages, right? You have 28 pages right now. And interesting, just how this breaks down. Now, we're gonna have to, of course, we can't leave out Noble Drew Ali because, you know, we're the worshippers of him. You know what I mean? Bow and pray to Noble Drew Ali, Om Noble Drew Ali, you know, savior of the gods of the universe. You know, he died on the cross, you know what I mean, in Chicago. So Noble Drew Ali did a writing called Divine Warning by the nations, for the nations. Okay, so in his writing, he made it clear what Moors are supposed to do. Job of the Moors, enforce the Constitution. Right? Why? Because we're the Black Moors. We're the Moors that were on this side that are directly connected to the Moors on that side. Because we're all the same people. This land was one landmass at one time, it was one landmass, and then wherever people were when it separated, that's where they ended up. And you're not getting across the ocean the first time you wake up from the earthquake that split Pangea. The last thing on your mind is try to cross that ocean. So here we are in the Americas, the Moors, Black Moors that were over there that got trapped on this side when Pangea split. And then there was Atlantis there, you know, and then that's gone. Then there was Lemuria, and that's gone. And there was all these other places that they don't talk about. All they want to talk about is Kemet and some Kemet stuff. They don't want to talk about over here. That's the destruction. Because what did Drew Ali say? Go back to the ancient foremothers mindset. If you go back to your ancient foremothers mindset, you would realize that it's one nation that we're looking at millions of years later. And there's so much separation and so much different colors and polka dot people and swirl people that we don't even get caught up in. You hear the brother said, love is love. You think they got a juice bar because, oh yeah, the black guys only. You know Europeans go there. Like, there's Europeans in the hood. Yeah, white trash. Those are the guys who took your position of nigger. And are the actual real nigger. And you're blackamoors pretending to be black people. And Noble Drew Ali laid it out. Real simple. You're not Negro, black, colored. Why? Because those are slave names. So why would you want to be that? Willingly, openly. You're yelling that at the top of your lungs that you're that? And think that the universe isn't catching that vibration and sending something back to you? And you want to know how come you got problems and why you Koreans are coming in your neighborhood and just buying everything in your stuff, and you're still going to them because that's another enemy that came in on the side because they know you have nationality. You want to be black Irishmen. You want to be black Scotsman. You want to be black English and black British. There's no black anything. They're Moors before they were Europeans anywhere on the planet. Moors were there. Dark-skinned people. And we founded nations. Documented fact. Black guys know that. So the last name that we fell as is Moors. It's a documented fact. Right before slavery is Moorish history. Whether you're talking about Mali, whether you're talking about Shanghai, whether you're talking about China and their dynasties over there, whether you're talking about India, Pakistan, Sri Lanka, whatever. That was all dark-skinned people. Moors. So Noble Drew Ali, as intelligent as he was, realized that, damn, there's Moors everywhere. And based on the history, many Moors have been many things and done many things that maybe they shouldn't have did. But they are ancient foremothers and forefathers, so we can't really separate from them, but we can tie ourselves to them, but do it under a different perspective. And then that's under the perspective of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice first. And then we do everything else that we want to do. But everything has to be based on those 5 principles. If it's not, then your stuff ain't going to work. Because Noble Drew Ali was the last one to come. And he designated certain people, certain roles. All these black guys, they're going to play this game. All these black guys know Oscar the Priest is the first black congressman of Chicago. They call him that. They know that that's what he is. This is what the black guys say. They know him. First black congressman. They put him in museums and stuff like that. Now, when we go to this, we're going to go back to Noble Drew Ali but when you go through this black American representatives, senators BS, right, that they put out there for the dumb masses, what the dumb masses don't realize is that the last Republican black congressman was Oscar the Priest. After him, everybody's Democratic. So Oscar the Priest was the last stronghold of the Moorish Moroccan Empire. And what was his duty? To give it to the people. Why? Because this is a Republican form of government. Now if it's a Republican form of government, then the people are the government. But now you ought to be Moors though. Black congressmen did all that for you, but you don't want to be Moors though. Oscar the Priest, black congressman, tied y'all back to Noble Drew Ali. The black guy that you guys rep. Tied you back. But you listen to these clowns out here. They want to make videos. Instead of understanding the truth about your nationality and birthrights. Because, you know, your black congressman, Oscar the Priest, was your last Republican. And if you voted for him, then that means you inherit the wealth as the beneficiary. But you want to be black. And you let the Democrats come in. The Whigs Because at that point, if you're not going to pick it up, then they can't claim the seal, but they'll definitely claim the eagle, which is what they've done, which is what they call, black guys call the white supremacist KKK America with the triple K, United Snakes of America. They let them infiltrate their own stuff, and now they're mad at Moors, telling them to pick up their birthright. They're telling Moors that that's some Illuminati stuff. Why are we going to... You guys talking about? And that's how stupid you look to the world. That's why they just put Bey in the newspaper next to Beyonce. Because you're stupid. And Islam taught the active Moors only. The active Moors know what's up. Drew Ali in the Divine Warning, and just go check the Black American Representatives BS so you can see for yourself that Oscar the Priest is the last Republican. Told them they don't want to be Moors. They want to be black guys marching up and down for nothing. It's marching just because they feel like it. And then people supporting that. Supporting it. The word Negro deludes in the Latin language to the word nigger, the same as the word color deludes to anything that is painted, varnished, and dyed. And every nation must bear a national descent name of their forefathers, because honoring thy fathers and thy mothers, your days will be lengthened upon this earth. These names have been recognized. These names have never been recognized by any true American citizens of this day. Through your free national name, you are known and recognized by all nations of the earth. That are recognized by said national government in which they live. The 14th and 15th Amendments brought the North and South in unit, placing the Southerners, who were at this time without power, with the constitutional body of power. And at that time, 1865, the free national constitutional law that was enforced since 1774 declared all men equal and free. And if all men are declared by the free national constitution to be free and equal, since that constitution has never been changed, there is no need for the application of the 14th and 15th Amendments for the salvation of our people and citizens. So it's not needed. Now keep in mind, let's go back to the congressional record for a sec. Because you have to realize that when you hear these people talking about their naturalization and stuff, they're selling you out. Don't worry about what they're saying about Moors are doing. You people telling you put L and B on a license instead of just telling me reserve your rights and use the straw name. They're selling you out. Because if you have a right to travel, why would you need why not just have a right to travel in your L or B name? Why have a license with L or B? Why not just use your nationality card? Because you're gonna have that if you have the license with L or B on it. That's coming from the state. But then you say that you're national. Don't get gamed. You better study what Noble Drew Ali brought. Because priesthood's dead. They don't save you. You think you're gonna get some elders out here debating or coming and talking about whatever? They had time for that. You don't see the banks in Panama closed? You didn't realize the banks in Panama closed. Any U.S. whatever you got, just start liquidating and get something worth something. Let's get rid of stuff. I mean, at least start, because the reserve notes they're zero now. And don't forget, Canada is in with it. That's why it's gonna cost you 100 Canadian to get 50 American. You used to spend way less and get way more, but sign of the times. But back to these unconstitutional blackamoors. The unconstitutional blackamoors that don't want to get it. So remember that there were blackamoors, right? And then they brought them to the state of servitude. How'd they do that? By misclassifying them as something that they're not. And the blackamoors not contesting. They're going with it. And then want to blame them when they went with it. Like, they sold out their own birthright and now they're mad at the victor when they blew the game. Why are you mad at the victor? Like, all you have to do is just take the knee. Where are you running? You also lose the whole season down the drain because he didn't take the knee. You want to be superstar. Negroes don't want to get it. Congressional record again, mind you. I'm glad it is so. But bear in mind, we are taunted with our poverty now because we cannot educate the Negro. So don't let them fool you with the white man's school is, you know what I mean, and trying to run the people. No, we know Moors children who go to European school and they excel. What are you talking about? What do you mean the white man's school? Oh yeah, you guys playing the black game because you don't recognize nationality. No, we recognize nationality. And we know Moors who they give their letter to the principal personally. And they don't send a registered mail. Just go to the school. Just want to put you on notice of any type of teaching that you're doing in here. Make sure you send home everything, because I need to make sure that, you know, whatever the stuff's getting done properly. Oh yeah, and no vaccinations and none of that stuff. You know what I mean? Because we have constitutional rights you have to recognize because you're a school board. And then, oh yeah, no problem. We reckon, yeah, no, it's all right, you know. Every day phone calls at the house. Principal, yeah, today was a good day, you know, he giving the report. But now you don't want to be Moors. You want to play around. Let your children go in there, get vaccinated, eating crap, right? You have the best hair, but your youth is going to school with, you know what I mean, microwavable stuff. Or having to go buy school stuff, which depending on the school, you don't want cafeteria food. So they're admitting, this is the cracker devil admitting that they can't educate the Negro. So how could the Negro now blame the cracker for miseducation and whatever? They said you chose to go to somebody who can't educate you like an idiot. But you don't want to get Moors and have a library and teach yourself. You don't want to do that. Not complain about what you don't have. Fools. Because remember, they can't educate the Negro. So the Negro is on his own now. This is congressional record. Negro's on his own. Exactly. And nothing happened. They just stood there like Negroes. Slavery's over. These guys just in the field. cotton or whatever. Stood there. And Juali came, straightened everything back up. You're not Negroes. Stop acting like Negroes. Get up, Lazarus. Psh, get up. Yeah, but psh, get up. Stop playing around. You have a birthright. But only you can claim it. Anybody give you nothing. It can't cost $1,500, can't cost $2,000, can't cost $1. It can't be sold. It's yours. Either you claim it or somebody else is going to claim it and they're going to rape you with your own birthright. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Not assumption. Yo, all the Moors out there who got raped of their birthright and then their birthright used on them. Why? Because humble themselves. It's not a joke when we say go on RV publication, stay there a year. We're being generous to say stay there a year. We're being lenient, saying go on RV and stay there for a year. And it's not about props. It's the depth of information. Like there's other sites I support or whatever, but I haven't got off RVBait for 7 years. Just because there's always stuff there that I didn't know. Like what the hell? Where did this come from? More stuff? Like just information to save myself. Why wouldn't I gravitate to that? Personally, why not? I mean, it's going to save me. Educate ourselves. We're not Negroes. We're Moors. We're founders of civilization. We are. Everybody knows. This is not speculation or class whatever. Like, in my life, I deal with people like a Moor. And they know out here. They know. It's not a secret to them. And they're surprised that I know. With fez, without fez, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all about what comes out of my mouth. And what's in my heart. And Juali said, love, truth, peace. Okay, love is first. Then, approach everybody with love and see what you get. Not Negroes. And when I say we're not Negroes, I'm talking about all the other labels as well. All we can be is Moors. That's all we can be. Can't be anything else. I don't care how much videos those guys make. It's still going to be black guys just making videos. And nothing happening with the inner workings, which is really what it's about. Those 700 classes, you think Allah didn't step in, or whatever deity step in and give you information? Not just me, like other people too. You know what I mean? But this is a higher level. And Juali is the platform, the elevated platform to take us there, to that level, where we have the mountaintop view. And if every individual has the mountaintop view, now we have nationhood. Because we have a nation. People like to say, oh, yeah, where's the Moors nation? You got, just look that dollar bill in your pocket. Keep playing stupid. Keep playing that pyramids come from European Freemasons. Keep playing stupid. But you're going to call yourself Kemetic though. But you're not going to claim the pyramid in your pocket. Keep playing stupid. Because you don't want to recognize that you're Moors. And the only thing that pyramid represents is Moorish government. when Egypt was the capital dominion of the Moorish Empire. So, hey, but you're Kemetic though. But you're not going to claim that pyramid that Kemetic people built on the Great Seal, on that dollar in your pocket right now. You won't claim that. We have to keep those dollars around out here because we don't got those. Over here is usurped. So-called Indian tribal, whatever. They sold over here to the French and the British. They just gave up the stuff. Why? Because all the leadership sold out. So hey, what are the people going to do? Follow the leader. But all those times are over. Priesthood is dead. No leaders and all that stuff or whatever, you know what I mean? This Cujo your brother. Forget Grand Sheik and all that stuff. Moor Science Temple is some Moors came together and said, yo, you want to do something for the community as Moors? Let's do this. Bam, bam, okay. And we have our meetings and all that stuff, and, you know, we do what we do. But nation's sitting there. You going to be part of it, or... You know what I mean? Speaking about nations sitting there, and then we're talking about boxing Islam to the Moors, because this is a nation. So they're in a territory and all that stuff. That's why we say active Moors. That's why we say Moorish American, because that's a specific jurisdiction of Moors. Only Moorish Americans will understand. If you're not one, shut the up, FOH, and all the other stuff. Because if you're not Moorish American, don't talk about Moorish Americans. You're not Chinese. I know you're talking about them. I know you're talking about Koreans. You know, trying to figure out them, make them what they are, what they're not, whatever. You only do that with Moors. How come? You don't go hard at other people who are actually, against you in a sense. They're taking all your stuff. You don't want to accept the fact that they're taking all your stuff. Because you don't want to be Moors, But then they're Asiatics, right? Which means they have a stake in the Moroccan Empire too, because, Asia is part of the Moroccan Empire. That continent. It's just, facts. Everybody knows. Remember, we're dealing with a congressional record saying that they never educated the Negro. They can't. They can't educate the Negro. So the Negro has to fend for himself. How you fend for yourself? First thing you do, proclaim your nationality. You proclaim your nationality, now you can start exercising your rights. And not be a Negro. So Harriet Tubman told them, what are you doing? We're going to walk off the plantation. You're going to go down there. When you go down there, there's going to be a big quilt hanging. And it's going to have some designs on it. And then follow the instructions from the quilt. Remember what I told you? Okay, yeah, go. And they go. She's not walking, no 500 people. Yeah, we're going to walk and go all the way. No, that's not what was up. They had people on the way. This was intricate. Because, they were Aboriginal indigenous people from over here. So they know about over here. Why? Because their ancestors are on the other side of the Atlantic right now, because there's this big earthquake, and then, we got separated, and then now we're stuck over here, and they're over there. But, we had some of the culture from over here still, because, it's the same place. It's just a river in between it right now, So, right now, in this place, we are the authority. All these, listen, Moors, right? You're going to get off. Check the congressional record and see for yourself that it's not an assumption for us. We are Moorish Americans. People who are watching this that are coming into being Moorish Americans, You better be studying, because there's not a saviorship going on over here. Everybody wants to call somebody to try to get some answers. And you know there's Moors that don't leave their house because they're studying. They don't leave their house. To study. Family, everybody's in on it. Our jurisdiction of Moors, active Moors, is specific to individuals who follow the principles laid down by Noble Drew Ali. Nothing else matters. If that's not the primary focus before anything's done, you're failing. We went, the Moor that came here, Islam to the Moors that came out to the barbecues, the Canaanland Moors barbecues that went down. You know what I mean? A Moor came from another area of northwest Amexem here, 8-hour drive, right? Okay. Him and his Allah came, right? So you know how deep it is. So after the barbecue, you know, some of the Moors went to this place out here, Gerard India Bazaar. So there's an area, right, in this jurisdiction where there's 8 blocks or whatever, 10 blocks of just India everything and anything, like a marketplace. Only those people are there. You know what I mean? It would be similar to what people in other parts of Amexem would see with Jews, or you know, Little House on the Prairie, whatever, Mormons, you know what I mean, Native people, whatever. You know what I mean? Create a little society where, you know, you can go. So your people, you know, you only put money into your hands or whatever, because everybody in here is, you know, business. How are they able to do that? Because they have a nationality. With their nationality, they can contract with this so-called corporation. Because remember, India is a corporation. So these are corporate people coming into a corporate jurisdiction. Right? So these corporate people come into this corporate jurisdiction, and they go to the corporation called Canada and say, we are from India. We have a culture, blah, blah, whatever like that. We need to whatever. And then Canada government would say, okay, well, you know, the only stipulation that we have is that you have to use the maple leaf in anything that you do. That's it. Yeah, you just, you know, just put the maple leaf wherever. All right, cool, bam. And then they do what they do. Right? They create an atmosphere for themselves. So this place, Gerard India Bazaar, you know, I'm just quite casual, you know what I mean, t-shirt, jeans, you know what I'm saying? Another brother's dressed casual, you know, t-shirt, jeans. But then there's some Moors, like, you know what I mean? They were in their element, right? They were in their element, fezzes up, you know what I mean? They had their self looking like Moors. So go into this clothing store, fabric store. The owner, an elder, a turban on, he's in the back of the store, like the back. sees the Moor at the door coming in and leaves what he's doing to come and greet the brother at the door. Left what he was doing. Right now, the reason why, how it went down is that we were leaving the barbecue, and honestly, I didn't have an idea where we were going or whatever. You know what I mean? We just took our food and then we left. So, because at the barbecue, the Moors were building, you know, just having conversations or whatever like that. And I might not have been privy to all the conversations that the Moors were having or whatever. So they decide that they're going to this place or whatever. So we pull up to the place. I was like, okay, yeah, here's a good one now. I'm going to leave, use for class. Let me just observe. Right? Let me just observe what's going on. So, walked in the store. You know what I mean? Bam. Now, the Moor goes in the store on the frequency like it's his store. So, you know, he walks downstairs, you know, tells us, you know, come on, you know what I mean? Now, this is not his store. He has nothing to do with this store. All he does is goes there and buys his Moorish attire. But it's people from Hindustan that wear turbans, right? And then they say, you know, when they greet you, okay? Leads us down there. We're down there looking through stuff. We were there for a good while, and there was literally a personal servant that she was measuring people and going in the back, getting stuff that, you know what I mean? Like, going hard. Okay. Now, because of previous, now remember, this is one place, right? So because of previous encounters that he's had, they have a rapport, right? Now, I'm coming into this blinded. Never been to this store ever, you know what I mean? First time I'm meeting the Moor, like on a personal, right? Like actually spend some time, you know what I mean, with the brother, right? And the atmosphere of the encounter was that these people from another nation, namely Hindustan, Ceylon, etc., recognize the perspective of this so-called individual that's dark and looks like a black man not being classified or classifying himself as that and showing that he has a higher character, right? Because, you know, it's not normal for a so-called black man to be in this area of town buying shirts and, you know, trousers, pants, or whatever. It's not normal. So they realize that he's on a different frequency, and they deal with him based on his frequency of knowing who he is. He's not copying some Hindustani. That's not, right? He's honoring his foremother and forefathers. And the exchange between the brother and the elder of the store, right? And keep in mind that that's not a store that he went to before. He started studying about Moors, and then that's where he decided to go to get stuff, you know, that Moors wear, right? So him being in that position, on that plane, like they're seeing each other eye to eye, right? And remember, my position is I'm under here looking at this thing taking place, right? And then Drew Ali coming to mind about the brothers are from the east are gonna come. Man, they're not coming. They're here. They've been here. So we really been slacking, because that's really who we're supposed to be building our relations with, not with ourselves as Moors, thinking, oh yeah, the Moors, so the Moorish Americans. No, like, we're with them, because we got that. They're in our Quran. That's the Hindus with the OO that you never hear nobody talk about. You know, why do you put Hindu with the OO, not the U? Because the Drawley was an Egyptian adept. Because it's historical. There's a historical relationship between Moors that are from the jurisdiction of Hindustan and Ceylon and Peru, all these places, as well as on this side, because of the trade that went on between us. So I'm looking at these two individuals, and this is a ancient thing happening again. The Moors trading with each other, which goes back again, when it stops, when the wheels stop and they start back up again, it's going to be what? In the hands of the Moors. Because the brothers from the east already came and they're here. That's Noble Drew Ali's prophecy manifested. And they've been here. But what's Moors been doing? That's why we always crack at dirty Moors. What they been doing? Nothing with this. Playing games with this. Playing games with this. So, you know what I mean? Go to the, you know what I mean? Hit them off or whatever. You know what I mean? We leave with our stuff. Keep in mind now, keep in mind, we got there probably about between 7 and 7:30 or something like that. Maybe even closer to 8. Because we were in there maybe about 40 minutes to an hour. And when we were leaving, they were packing up to leave when we leave to close. That they shut the store down at closing time so we can continue, you know what I mean, peacefully. The store closed at 8, and 8:30, 8:40 something, we were still up in there, just finishing up our transaction on some love, like not even on some, you know, the customer or whatever, on some love, on some brotherly love. Why? Because we recognize that we're from the same nation. Recognize that. Not assumption. It's not, you know, I mean, this is just happened on Sunday. This just happened. Right? This happened. Leave the store because one of the Moors, one of the Canaanland Moors, came back with some sugarcane juice. Yeah, sugarcane juice. The Hindustanis. So, you know, people from the islands know what's up with the sugarcane juice. So, we got the sugarcane juice, and next to the sugarcane juice spot, there's a jewelry store, right? Big glass or whatever, right? And the two guys working inside the thing, right? So we're just there chilling, you know what I mean? Just waiting for our sugarcane juice or whatever. So it's some Moors, me, and then some Moors. And 2 of the 3 Moors on this side were the Moors that were like, you know what I mean, right? Like decked out hard, like not even playing, like convention picture decked out, right? So just sitting there, and then while I'm there and I'm just killing this sugarcane juice, I'm just looking at everybody, just looking at the Moors, right? So these 2 brothers come up now, brother, right? You know, turbaned up and all that. Clearly, they're not black guys with turbans on. These are guys from the East, okay? See the Moors, right? They go to them first, like, yo, you know what I mean? They did their little whatever. I mean, how you doing? Whatever. You know, Moore showed him a CD that he got. Moore gave him a hug. Oh yeah, you know, you got a CD. You know, you're gonna enjoy that music or whatever. This is how the Hindustani's talking to the so-called guy that looks like a black guy, like, you know what I mean? He's slave, came over here, but now he's dressing up. He has this little bucket hat thing that he has on, and then he has these clothes looking like he's like in a martial arts movie or something like that, you know, dressing weird, right? And these people ran up on them on some, they haven't seen them in ever. These are people from another nation. And their whole thing is, you know, this is how they're looking at them like, yeah, while they're talking or whatever. Oh, yeah. They're just like, the looks on their faces were just, oh my gosh, like you guys really, you're really seriously the ones? Like you're really seriously the ones? It's like, oh my gosh. Like they were happy. You know what I mean? Introduced us to whatever, you know what I mean? Same thing. No, you guys not dressed like them. Why is it? No, that's my brother. You know what I mean? That's our brother introduced you. Yeah, this is my brother or whatever. Like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Gave me the stuff, you know. Stuff that only Muslims know. You know what I mean? You know, right? They know what's up. Okay? Meantime, while they're having a conversation after he introduced us or whatever, I'm scoping these guys in the the guys in the jewelry store. And these guys are in the jewelry store, jaw on the floor, just for like 5 minutes, just zoned, looking at the Moors, like zoned out, like hit something, had E-pill, something, just out of here. I don't know where he went in his mind, but wherever he wasn't where he was standing. That's how the look on his face was when he saw the Moors. And remember, that's a brother from the East. That they know back there that who the Moors are, the dark-skinned people that have hair long just like theirs, but it's not the same texture. How come yours is like, how come yours, oh, you guys are the God, you guys are the Sadhu. So they know what's up. They know who the Moors are. And they were given supreme honors to the Moors. And again, this is coming from outsider. This is coming from somebody going there to let people who want to know about Moors know how other people look at Moors. Right? You know what I mean? The email's there. If you think I'm lying, link me. I'll give you the contacts to the people who were there so they can tell you for themselves. Right? Not that you should want to know, because it's a fact. It's not something that we have to prove to somebody. You think we're putting out all these videos on these black guys because we're trying to prove something? What we got to prove? We're Moors. They're Moors. They want to play like they're not Moors. Hey, don't be Moors. But you know what I mean? You're going to be an object. You're going to be an object. For us to get a little scalpel or whatever, take out your heart, cut it and all that stuff and see like how low of a level that you've gone to being a demon and working against your own birthright. Gerard India Bazaar. Gerard India Bazaar. Let's see what's up with the questions. I know there was a few. I know there was a few. So follow-up question. Greetings. This is Anthony Oli Shankle Bay from Northwest of Mexham. I just finished watching your class Back to Basics, and I'm at Staples to pick up some of the tools or homework and had a follow-up thought. If our signature offers this protection from corporations, wouldn't the same power be activated with a personalized stamp that could be activated with my allodial signature across the stamp? Would the stamp have specific aspects to qualify? Well, because you are who you are, you self-law and master, you want to put pen to paper to sign because it's a ritual. So I wouldn't stamp my signature or autograph. I want the pen to paper because it's a ritual. Like, I'm sealing this document when I put this thing on here. I mean, I'm verifying something. And then when you have the pattern of doing that, that'll make it easier for you to realize the people who run the fraud and give you the stamp on it. And then try to say that that's legitimate because, your signature's on there, yeah, signed it. Sure you signed it because, the pen looks like it lifted off right here and then it lifted off right here and then it lifted off right here, but, that looks like a stamp. You sure you signed this? So you want to, you know what I mean? You don't play stamp signature. That's a farce. No stamp signature going on. You can stamp your rights, reserve that. Right? You could stamp that, put that on a stamp without prejudice, you know what I mean? Whether you put the UCCs, blah, 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 whatever, Right? For some new Moors, brother Joseph Barlow Bay sent YouTube video that you can watch. Corporation Nation. The U.S. is a corporation, not a country, on YouTube. So anybody who, if you want to get some more confirmation, since you think, it's not real. You know what I mean? Well, also too, we gotta plug our European brother, our good brother, doesn't hide, puts the info out. You know what I mean? Richard Smith just dropped his book, The Moor, the Mason, and the Alien. So make sure you tell him Cujo sent you, Divine Minister Cujo. He knows what's up. He's not you know what I mean? He knows what's up. So if you want to get the book, rsmithufo@gmail.com. rsmithufo@gmail.com. The Moor, the Mason, and the Alien. New book by Richard Smith. From the book Mother Earth had flung the stargates wide open this time. Coming out of the north, a messenger from the galactic community would reignite the fires of insurrection. Crossing the racial and sexual boundaries of lost knowledge and ancient wisdom, his words of sheer defiance would turn the tide against the transnational corporations and unite the ancient defenders of the throne. A visionary Cetus a visionary synthesis of alien contact, the Moorish legacy, reincarnation and human origins. The more the Mason and the alien engages the reader with a radically ambitious scope of knowledge and wisdom, putting us on track with a magnificent interstellar experience through the paranormal and extraterrestrial terrains of ancient history, psychology, economics, and current affairs, ranging from the author's personal odyssey to the global issue we all face. Richard Smith stirs up a spiritual insurrection, an epic saga like no other, representing the beginning of the new and riveting human adventure, taking the reader on an historical account of a global rebellion that begins with the Sasquatch going head-to-head with the Greys and transforms into the ancient Moorish legacy of the Egyptian university system. Don't miss yours. Don't miss this one. Get your copy today. CreateSpace.com 542-6812. 542-6812. CreateSpace.com. And that's Richard Smith's new book, The Moor, the Mason, and the Alien. And just so you could check the record, you know what I mean, just YouTube search Noble Drew Ali Day, Rick Smith, Kudro L, Seton Rabe, and you can get the Rick Smith lecturing for the Moors, about the Moors. So we figure if the white man could tell us, then, you know what I mean, then like what the hell? If he could tell us the same thing Noble Drew Ali's telling us, and let us know that, yeah, you guys are right, you guys aren't wrong or whatever. Forget what all these other Europeans telling you, you know what I mean? Like, the Greys fear you guys. Forget Earth plane. In the intergalactic realms, it's all about you guys. And he's a European. And he's looking at the Moors at that depth. Well, he's a European though. White man. He's a cracker, the devil. But he has enough balls to write a book about the Moors. He's not punking out like some people, because they don't want to lose their tenure. They don't want to lose their little whatever they got playing. Do you have any classes on the ICC, International Criminal Court? Well, no, because that's Rome, and none of these Roman venues are gonna just yield, because they know they can't educate the Negro, and they know that the Moors have superior knowledge, but without all the other Negroes, it's really clip sovereignty. And the Moors are just doing what they do because they can, taxes off here and get this and meet with this guy and do whatever, just because, hey, if they don't want it, that doesn't mean I'm not going to exercise my birthright because you think because, they killed a Moor, so I'm not going to be a Moor. Okay, do your thing. But, I'm not going to stop being a Moor. Can't stop being a Moor because we're Moors. Can't stop it. So now let's go back to no ICC, leave them alone. UN, all those clowns, leave them alone. It's private corporations now. Dropped the ball, waited too long, right? Just face it. It's not all over. It's not done, but you can't go to them. All you do is just put them on notice. What are they gonna do for you? And then that's why you hear the so-called black guys talking about bloodshed, because they're fed up. I'm saying I'll be fed up too. Want to kick some crackers' asses. But to never do it, but want to kick their ass so bad, never kill one, you're not really mad. You're fronting. You're not mad. Because if you guys were mad, you would kill some crackers. If you were mad. All those guns you got, you go in a gun range and all this kind of crap, shoot goddamn black targets. And want to know how come shit ain't working for you. Yeah, you shoot black targets. No, it's a European. Yeah, you're shooting black targets. And you call yourself black. And think you're doing something to them. They're not black people. They got nationality. They're European. The white man cracker? Ha! Oh, cracker, we're gonna get you. Shut up. Oh yeah, they killed one more. Yeah, they did. They also killed thousands of black guys. So if one Moor is worth thousands of black guys, I'd still rather be a Moor than a black guy. Because it's a dumb shit. That they never made one video about all the black guys that got shot. They never made one video. They mention him, give him a shout out or something like that. More get shot? A video for that. And have a more in there. Why? Because you need the Moors. You can't talk about the Moor getting shot without the Moors in there. And people don't get it. Can't do nothing without the Moors. For years you heard them. Yeah, we need unity. You never heard them call the Moors. Go back, check. All the black power stuff they used to do. Yeah, we need unity. Come and the black power. Now it's, oh yeah, unity. We got to bring the Moors there. We got to bring the... Stop it. Just be Moors. You got to bring the Moors to the Moors? Like, what do you mean you got to bring the Moors to the Moors? Y'all are Moors. You don't want to be that? Hey. But you're Moors. Without doubt or contradiction, we're Moors. Now you play games all you want. You think people are sending questions because they're just bored? You think people in UK are saying they're Moors because they're just looking to find the next thing to jump on? Only people left is the dumb Negroes in America, always. That don't want to get it. They'll be everything. They'll be everything. Time to be Moors? Oh, they can't do that. Moor got shot, so they don't want to be Moors. But there'll be black guys. Black guys got shot, but you'll be black guys. But you just said that you're not going to be. You guys are acting like some punks right now. Some real punks. So we just went to the Hindustani. They know what's up. Nobujwali told the Moors, your brothers from the east are going to come and save you. Okay, they've been here. They didn't just come here. They've been here. All you do is ignoring them because they're not our brother. They got straight hair. Or they're not our brother. You know what I mean? Because we're black guys and we have the kinky hair and they're not our brothers, so because they got straight hair. Fools. I want to know how come they don't have nothing. Still on the goddamn corner. Don't have a building yet. All these years. Oh, you guys couldn't think common sense come together and have a building? Oh, but you don't want to get it from the white man. You want to be revolutionary, so you have a street corner. Black Panthers had a building. Garveyites had a building. In Kemet, they had buildings. Playing. Islam brother Kudro, I was wondering about the titles. Do we choose El and Bey, or does a sheikh or temple choose for us? Like we said, priesthood is dead. Go read the Red Book. We're not going to quote from it. Just go get it. RVBaypublications.com, khalifamedia.com. Go get the Red Book. Mysteries of the Silent Brotherhood is what it's also coded. Right? Get that so you can know why the priesthood is dead. And if the sheikh or temple chooses your El or Bey for you, then that's not yours. That's theirs. So don't get mad when they start telling you about, because you didn't whatever, you can't come to the Moorish picnic. Again, when you study, Drawley said, study, study, study. You don't know what the hell else to study, study yourself when you have no choice. You're just bored and you have nothing to do, study yourself. Oh man, there's so many books, which one do I pick up? Just study yourself. I wonder if I should call don't call, study yourself. Because that's also a lesson. Like, it's not just saying it. Drawley said, study yourself. When you study yourself, you'll know whether you're El or Bey. It'll just come to you. Just like your name, title, appellation, whatever, who you are, that you choose to call yourself when you introduce yourself to someone with the El or Bey attached to that thing. That thing, same thing. Study, figure out what frequency vibrates to you, and there you are. And what advice can you give me in general, being I'm in a territory with no temples or active Moors? Mississippi, southeast sector of North Amexem. So any Moors in Mississippi? Goldmore13 at Gmail. Brother Elliot. Brother Elliot. Goldmore13 at Gmail. If you're in Mississippi, get at the Moor, because there's Moors waking up. And as you can see, certain Moors didn't do their job. That's why there's no temple where the Moors at, and where anybody else is at where there's no temple. And they're, how am I going to draw a temple? Oh, here's a good idea. You can actually be an honorary member of Canaanland Moors Temple. So you can email the secretary of our temple, Amari Elbey, AMAURY Elbey at hotmail.ca. Send them an email, and then you can start there. If you want to be part of a temple so bad and there's no temple, then that's why we're here. Because Moors dropped the ball. We already know about the 16 secretaries, because every weekend, mails piled up because Moors want to be part of the temple. So we know that it's real. Drawley laid it down, and it's real. 16 secretaries for real, and we only have 2, but it's 16 for real, for real. So do what the Moors did, right? You have the Moors in Northwest Amexem, jurisdiction where the Nationals play baseball. And then they started up a little, study group under the banner of Moorish Science Temple, because, they had access to a Moorish Science Temple. So they just used that name. But, that was just a study group, some Moors that study, and then they came together and said, we'll do classes. And when they said first class, It was, you know what I mean? The room was packed. Like, oh, all right, I guess we got something going on right now. And they've been doing class. And that's what it takes. Moors. You know what I mean? Just doing what has to get done. Because the priesthood is dead. You know what I mean? I wouldn't, because of the dirtiness of the Moor Science Temple, I wouldn't go out and say start your own Moor Science Temple. Don't do that. You know what I mean? Better you start a study group or something. Right? Call it something. Whatever study group. You know what I mean? Tie it to Northwest Amexem. Tie it to Noble Drew Ali some way, somehow. Without calling it Moorish Science Temple of America. You know. You have Moorish Temple. You know. There's some Moors in Canaanland. They have Moorish Science Studios. You know what I mean? It's not Moorish Science Temple, but it, you know, it has the theme. Right? Because there's a reason why there's no temples. I wish it wasn't so, but it is so, unfortunately. But that doesn't mean we're not going to be Moors because there's no temple. Oh, there's no temple, so forget this Moor Science Temple. You know what I mean? Noble Drew Ali ain't nobody because there ain't no temples. No, that's not. That's not the frequency. You know what I mean? If there's no temples anywhere, still honors to Noble Drew Ali. Right? It's way bigger than some temple. Especially if they're coming talking about, I'm going to give you your L or Bay or whatever. You don't want them. Right? You don't want them more. Those Moors will eat you. Eat you and your babies. Just because. We had one of these YouTube Kemetic clowns who still can't show their nationality card that they're Kemetic. You know, they don't need to show that. You don't need to show that, huh? You don't need to show that. So this is what we're saying. I know that active Moors could prove their nationality, right? Bam! Card, papers, whatever. Okay? If it can't be proven, you're definitely U.S. property. Canada property. We'll put it like that. So there's property people, there's people who are shadow, and then there's free nationals. And free nationals could prove their nationality. So don't listen to these people pretending that they don't need ID. Because trust me, when they get pulled over, they're given a license, which comes from the cracker white man devil. And they have plates from the cracker white man devil. And they never reserve their rights on those contracts. So they're actually admitting that they're property. But you know, they're going to come make videos and talk about their, you know, there's some jurisdiction. You know, playing with you. Just playing with you. Because Drew Ali told you to think. Why did he tell you to think? Because the priesthood is dead. There's no lecturer that's going to come give you the right information. That's not what's happening. Right? When you see Moors go lecture, that's not the same as black guys going to lecture to some black people. It's not the same. When Moors go to lecture, that's a class. That's not a lecture. The appearance is just that there's one individual up here and then the crowd there, so it appears to be a lecture. But it's a class, because all those people on that side, they have pen and pad and stuff and they're taking notes. They're not watching whatever's going on up there. They're taking notes. Because it's a class. So don't think that, you know, you see, you know, debate versus whatever, and there's a Moor versus a, if there's a Moor there, that's a class. It's supposed to be a class. As soon as the Moor's there, whoever's on that side should be taking notes. And if they're not taking notes, they're probably not a Moor. So, you know, they're not considered. They don't even matter. You black guys go to stuff, trust me, I was a black African, whatever guy, we never took notes. You know we don't take notes in the black stuff. We just go there to clap or whatever like that, you know, chant or whatever, and that's it. You know, in the African Kemetic whatever stuff, ain't no notes at the lecture. Unless it's a health lecture. A health lecture, you'll probably take notes. The other lecture, majority of people in there, They're just sitting there waiting for that thing, the little tingle feeling, because they've heard something like that. Oh yeah, woo! That's all they want, right? So one of these comedic goofs that can't prove their status, right? You know, playing the game that, you know, Moore got shot. Okay, did you recognize that they never called him black in any of the articles? Oh, matter of fact, we have it right here. Let's just check this, just to see if the cracker who writes all this, you know what I mean, articles and whatever stuff, his newspaper, we don't have no black newspapers, right? So, you know, we know that it's not their words. This is the devil talking now about the Moore shooting, right? This is the devil, the cracker, the white man. This is what he knows about Moors. That Negro, black, color, whoever, African, Kemetic, Hebrew, you name them, Rastafarian, say it out. All of them, yeah. The Garveyites, yeah. Say no more, yeah. The Pan-Africans, yeah. The Egyptologists, yep. The herbologists, yep. All of them, yes. All of them who can't prove nationality. That don't want to have a nationality because they think, oh, no, we're the special galactic people, so we don't need that. But you get stopped, you're given a license. If you go pay for something, you give a credit card or something like that. And you tell me that you're not corporate ward, and you should probably consider correcting that because the system is falling, and anybody who's part of that is going down with that ship, and the only freedom that you have is proclaiming your nationality. Keep playing. The family and friends of a teenager shot by St. Louis gathered for his funeral Saturday, but closure over the controversial killing is still a long way off. Police say Mansur Balbay, 18, was running out of a house. They were searching for drugs and weapons, then turned and pointed a gun at them. They say police shot him in self-defense, but Balbay kept running, dropping the gun in the backyard and ultimately collapsing in the front yard. But the police department's story is starting to fall apart as more medical evidence comes to light. First, an autopsy showed that Balbay was shot in the back. Police Chief Sam Dotson said this didn't necessarily prove or disprove the officer's story. Then last week, a medical examiner determined that the bullet severed Balbay's spine and also punctured his heart, which would have killed him immediately, making it extremely unlikely that he was able to run several yards after being shot. Now, this sounds very similar to the so-called Negro, black, whatever, people getting shot, right? The brother who got the spine broken, and then now they encapsulate all that into this situation with the Moor, because like we said before, don't forget, they need the Moor. They need the Moor that works at FedEx, that was wearing his FedEx stuff. Because right now, you know that the whole gun and all that stuff is irrelevant now. You know that that's off the meter. So this is not just a regular situation now. This is conspiracy. But it's involving a Moor though. It's not involving a black guy. This is conspiracy now. Because there's obviously more than one people making this thing manifest. Because medical examiners even coming out like, well, you know, the bullet severed his spine, so yeah, thanks, bye. It's all happening, you know, just to show you how deep the conspiracy goes. You already know there's going to be collateral damage. Because what did the black guy say? It's wartime, right? Yeah, you know, black guys were collateral damage. Now we have a Moor that was collateral damage. For the Moors, realize that they got to get on their stuff. And for the black guys, to realize they're going to get on their stuff. Because watch. Police officers frequently defend shootings by claiming that their victims were unstoppable and immune to bullets. Officer Darren Wilson described the unarmed teenager, Michael Brown, as a demon who continued to charge at him through the bullets. Right? In another recent case, an officer fired at Dontre Hamilton, a mentally ill black man, 14 times because he said Hamilton was so unaffected by the gun that he didn't flinch after the first shot. His family also says Balbay was not at the house the police were searching, but was an innocent bystander at his friend's house nearby. Now they take all that training, shooting training, that you missed the guys that you were aiming for and hit somebody else and the guys got away. So that means two guys got away. If he wasn't the guy, because remember they're saying right here, right, the talk was that he had the gun and he said, that's what people talking, he had the gun. Okay, well he didn't have the gun. He was an innocent bystander. He had nothing to do with that searching situation, drugs and all that stuff. This is nothing. Innocent bystander. Balbay shooting occurred in the anniversary of the shooting of Kajim Powell, also by St. Louis police. Protesters over Balbay's death escalated quickly as police showed up in riot gear, cars were set on fire, demonstrators. Community commemorated Balbay on Saturday, and a memorial has been set up at the site of his shooting. So, it's definitely propaganda. You know that it's propaganda. You're not going to fall for some emotional roller coaster. They killed a Moor crap. Right? Murder was orchestrated. But what they didn't count on was that now Moors are in the news. Now Bay is out there now. Nobody can say they don't know now what it is. Because none of the articles call him black man, black teenager. They told you the mentally ill black man. They didn't call him a black teenager. What's that say? What's that tell you? That they're treating him just like they do with all the other nationals that something happens to. They don't misclassify them. So obviously they recognize that Moorish American is a nationality, because never once has any of the so-called advocacy, whatever, for rights and all of this, you know, hoopla. Ain't nobody coming up saying anything about the sovereign terrorists, you know, got killed or nothing like that. Because, you know, because they write articles and they say that Moorish Americans are, you know, paper terrorists. But how come they're not talking about Mansur Bey like he's a paper terrorist? How come they didn't say the paper terrorist that was, because he's a Moor, right? So then if he's a Moor, and then being a Moor means that we're paper terrorists and we go to the court and You know, we cause ruckus with fake paperwork and all that stuff. How come they never brought none of that up when they were doing articles, reports on Mansur Bal Bey, knowing that he was a Moor? Interesting. Very interesting. And they never called him black either. Never called him African, African American. Always just called him teenager. And like we said, they didn't do like they do when Moors go to court and they want to say, you know, Mansur Bal, aka Mansur Bal Bey, aka Supreme Noble Mansur. They didn't do those ones. Every single time they called him by his free national name, which means they recognize it, which means they know what it is. So-called white man, cracker or whatever. Just go back, look at all the police stuff when they talk about him. They don't leave the bay off. You can't. Because that's a free national name. Recognized all over the world, just like Noble Drew Ali told you. Or you never checked the Chinese articles? Yeah, you should probably go check what other people in the world in their language, because you know, because we have the India jurisdiction here and the Chinese jurisdiction, we get all their papers as well. Even though you might not be able to read the words, but pictures tell 1,000 words. No, I'm telling you, you should go check. How come they're not? How come they're writing about it? You ever heard them write about a black guy get shot? International people. Even when talking to them, they know him by name. That they're gonna ask Moors. We're talking about international people. We're not talking about Negro, black, colored people making videos. We're talking about people who know that there's these dark-skinned people that refer to themselves as Moors in America. They know who they are. And they respect that position. So when one of these stateless people come with their questions like, where is the nation on the map called Moor? You're a fool. Because a nation has to have a landmass. There has to be a geographical location that is representative of this nation. Now, somebody who wants to be Moorish lecturer champion of the year, they're going to go into all this history about, you know, the Moors land being in Mauritania and all these Moor things, and they have a big problem and tell you 700 and we'll do the lecture to answer this question about where on the map you could qualify it as a Moor. When if you're talking about landmass, you're talking about Moor, because Moor means land. So if Moor means land, what do you mean what nation on the map is called Moor? Moor means land. Water is on land. Yeah, what? Oh no, water doesn't just float. Just it's there. Water's on land, and land is called Moor. Just go look it up. Any goddamn dictionary. Which land is the Moors? So don't get gamed by the book lists and all that type of stuff, and you know what I mean, buy 500 books and not read them. Like I read these books. Like I read these. Everything's not retained, but I read these. That's why I have them. Instead of you buy stuff that you're not gonna read, buy a good dictionary. That'll teach you. Read that from A to Z, and that'll teach you. Better than some people's book is say that they're a scholar by their book. And if you want to get those stuff, go to thrift store or something. You're trying to find stuff in where people are. You have to go to the secret spots. The Moors go to thrift stores and leave with bags of books. Bags. Oh man, wow, what, they spent $100? Nah, they spent about $10, 50 cents for a book or whatever. Thrift store. Thrift store. Bags. Then Moore's calling me about, yeah, I got this dictionary and this dictionary, this dictionary. And then Moore's calling, yeah, I'm trying to find a dictionary, but I don't know where to get one, could you tell me? Thrift stores, man. Don't worry about where it came from, man. Just go to the thrift store. You'll be surprised when you get to a thrift store. Blow your mind. Don't listen to these goofs that can't even prove that they have a status. These stateless people talking about what's the Moors gonna do about something. Shut the hell up, you're stateless. Don't ask me no goddamn questions. You don't even have a nationality. I deal with nations. And that's the first thing, all the time. Again, more in the trenches. Cam L. Check him on Facebook. But he's not going to be your friend because he doesn't do friends and stuff. He has 2 friends. Just so you could see some stuff that he posts. Cam L. So, called me today. So we're building or whatever, and then he just stops. Yeah, how you doing or whatever, you know what I mean? Just talking. Yeah, where you coming from? Oh yeah, I go to university. I go to university right over there. He's like, yeah, I stopped you. He's like, yeah, hold on 1 second, right? So he's just talking. He's like, yeah, I stopped you because, I saw that you had a nationality or whatever. She's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, I noticed that you're Asiatic, Asian, Manchurian, right? And she's like, yeah, how do you know that or whatever? She's like, oh no, because I'm Asiatic, Moroccan, American. She's like, what, really, whatever? And they start talking. Now, he's just walking on the street. You know what I mean? He's just walking. Where he's walking, there happens to be a university close by. And there just happened to be somebody that was just, passing. And he just said, what's up? Hey, you look like you're... And he used his 5 senses. Right? And she went with it. She didn't deny it. No, I'm not or whatever. No, why would you say that? No, I'm Korean. You know how they get it. Right? Because Negro, black, colored people see slant eyes and think, oh yeah, automatically that's a Chinaman or whatever. No, don't be, you're stupid. That's why nobody respects you. And they just come in the neighborhood and build stuff. And rape your community. Have you spent billions of dollars on hair? Have you spent billions of dollars on bleach cream and all this kind of crap? Right? But then complaining about they're taking stuff from the community. Get the hell out of here with that stupidness. You guys stupid. We told you, India Bazaar. These guys came over here and made their stuff. They came over here and did their stuff. Right? They did what they're supposed to do. Okay. Now we're just gonna read. We're just gonna read Brother Aljamir Bey just sent this one just for the Moors to get a little something. Honors, it is your brother Aljamir Rocky Bey. I enter the same way I leave, with love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. See, right? So it's a theme with certain Moors. It's not just talk or poppy show or, you know what I mean, to try to, yeah, we got something going on. No, like this is Moors that are on a certain frequency, certain vibration, right? This is like you have to be in it to know. If you're on the outside looking in, we don't have to listen to you. Like, we don't need y'all. You need us. You're just fronting right now. But trust me, you're going to need us. On the topic of etymology, analyze my logic more. On the topic of light and dark concept's sake, the masses would believe Chris Brown is light-skinned and Morris Chestnut is dark-skinned. Isn't light from the sun? Isn't the sun melanin? Isn't dark escaping having no light, which is melanin, basically pale and black? So for the etymon purposes and concepts, shouldn't Morris Chestnut be considered light-skinned and Chris Brown dark-skinned? Isn't this another concept we've been reversed on? And since dark is really a similar to black, should we really be referred to our hue as dark-skinned? Like the Moors are dark-skinned people? If everything is light, which is energy, which is spirit, no matter hue, no matter what hue we are, shouldn't we all be claiming light skin? If you follow where I'm going. I know light and dark are not how we refer to our people. I don't use the word color. I use light instead. Simple etymon concepts. P.S. The 1982 American Dictionary says, darkness is empire of Satan. 7th definition. So 7th definition. Darkness. Noun, absence of light. And darkness was on the face of the deep. Genesis 1. Obscurity, want of clearness or perspicuity. That quality or state which renders anything difficult to be understood, as the darkness of counsels. A state of being intellectually clouded, ignorance. Men love darkness rather than light. John 3, I think that is. A private place, secrecy, privacy. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye light. Matthew 10. Infernal gloom, hell as utter darkness. Great trouble and distress, calamities, perplexities. A day of clouds and thick darkness. Empire of Satan, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness. Opaqueness, land of darkness, the grave. And then the next word is darksome. Right? And the reverse psychology, or the light and dark, regardless of what way you want to put it, is why Noble Drew Ali told the Moors about the higher self and the lower self. The light and the dark, which are interchangeable. Because you could be either or, your choice. And when that is the truth, and you have Moors going in the open and saying that the devil is a European, and not telling the people that the devil is the lower self, you better watch your teachers, because remember, the priesthood is dead. That's why we call this class. These are not lectures. These are not come sit here get you riled up. This is get you information so you can save yourself. This is get you information so you don't doubt yourself if you say that you're a Moor. This is not some rally. Get people excited to, oh yeah, go on RVB, and then go on there once and never go on there ever again. Playing yourself, not playing me, because I'm on there. I go hard on some RVB. Right? So, Moors were, oh, here's another one. Got a Moor in Chattanooga. Moor in Chattanooga. So, I'm going to put it out there. Get at the Moor. Send an email, Canaanland Moors Guide, or Canaanland Guide at gmail.com. Canaanland Guide at gmail.com. Anywhere near Chattanooga, send an email so we could forward you to the family out there, because Moors are waking up big time. I get these emails sometimes and they're like, who are you? Why are you sending me stuff? I don't like you. With regard to a child, if I'm already nationalized, this is the mother speaking, isn't she not automatically nationalized? Yes. Because you're a Moor, anything that comes to your womb is a Moor. And just for that, what we'll do, show you quickly what Noble Drew Ali laid down, so that, you know, the sisters could be inspired for whether they bring something out their womb or not, but to recognize that there is power in the word of Allah. Right? Who made you? Allah. So the word of Allah. Right? What justice means? Justice. So if we refer to him, he's justice. So if we refer to who made you, you know who made you. Allah. So Allah has to know that the Moorish movement is matriarchal. It is not patriarchal. The Moorish movement is based in matriarchy. So it's important, especially now with everything going on, that the sisters realize their importance in this. And also make sure you go into etymology and look up mistress, just so you know. You know what I mean? Also, too, make sure that you go to Moorish Heritage and History School, Sisters Standing on Law. and listen to that show if you're a sister. So this is chapter 2 in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple. Education of Mary and Elizabeth in Zoan, Egypt. The son of Herod, Archelaus, reigned in Jerusalem. He was a selfish, cruel king. He put to death all those who did not honor him. He called in council all the wisest men and asked the infant claimant of his throne. The council said that John and Jesus both were dead. Then he was satisfied. Now Joseph, Mary, and their son were in Egypt in Zoan, and John was with his mother in the Judean hills. Elihu and Salome sent messengers in haste to find Elizabeth and John. They found them. They brought them to Zoan. Now Mary and Elizabeth were marveling much because of their deliverance. Elihu said, "It is not strange. There are no happenings. Law governs all events. From olden times it was ordained that you should be with us and in this sacred school be taught." Elihu and Salome took Mary and Elizabeth out of the sacred grove nearby where they were to teach. Elihu said to Mary and Elizabeth, "You must esteem yourselves thrice blessed, for you are chosen mothers of long-promised sons, who are ordained to lay a solid rock, a sure foundation stone, on which the temple of the perfect man shall rest, a temple that shall never be destroyed. We measure time by cycle ages, and the gate of every age we deem a milestone in the journey of the race. And an age had passed. The gate onto another age flies open at the age touch of time. This is the preparation age of soul, the kingdom of Emmanuel, of Allah and man. And these your sons will be the first to tell the news and teach the gospel of goodwill to men and peace on earth. A mighty work is theirs, for carnal men want not the light." Islam to Brother Al-Jameer. "They love the dark, and when the light shines in the dark, they comprehend it not. We call these sons revealers of the light, but they must have the light before they can receive the light. And you must teach your sons and set their souls on fire with love and holy zeal, and make them conscious of their missions to the sons of men. Teach them that Allah and man are one, but that through carnal thoughts and words and deeds, man tore himself away from Allah and debased himself. Teach that the holy breath would make them one again, restoring harmony and peace, that naught can make them one but love, that Allah so loved the world that he clothes his son in flesh, and man can comprehend. The only Savior of the world is love, and Jesus, son of Mary, comes to manifest that love to men. Now love cannot be manifest until its way has been prepared, and naught can render the rock and bring down lofty hills and fill the valleys up, and thus prepare the way, but purity. But purity in life men do not comprehend, and so it too must come in flesh. And you, Elizabeth, you are blessed because yours is purity, made flesh, and he shall pave the way for love. This age will comprehend but little of the works of purity and love, but not a word is lost, for in the book of Allah's remembrance a registry is made of every thought and word and deed. For you dirty Moors out there. And when the world is ready to receive, lo, Allah will send a messenger to open the book and copy from its sacred pages all the messages of purity and love. Then every man of earth will read the words of life in language of his native land, and man will see the light and walk in the light and be the light, and man again will be one with Allah. Now one more thing that we want to put on the record for all these Negro black colored guys. We're putting this out there because we know that you have a diverted warrior spirit, and you've been taught to chase imaginings. You've been taught to accept fraud. So we want to use Noble Drew Ali. Remember, he told the Moors to enforce the Constitution. Okay? And Negro, black, colored people are Moors that don't want to be Moors. They want to be African Kemetic gods or whatever. They're going to talk about bloodshed. Make sure you have your gun, make sure you have your gat, make sure you have your whatever. Right? Moors talk like that too. Okay? Moors not talking about killing crackers though. Why? Because they are nationals. And why do Moors have guns? Why do Moors keep guns? Because as a Moor, as a Moorish American, as a national, if we are ordered by Noble Drew Ali to enforce the Constitution, then Noble Drew Ali was for the right to bear arms. Because that's a constitutional right. You can't do that as Kemetic African gods. Talk about guns and think that, whether they're registered or not, and whether they work or not, that, you gonna do something. Because you can't exercise constitutional rights without a nationality. Black, Negro, colored, African gods are not a nationality. So you become an insurgent. Like I said, Moors got guns. But we're not about killing crackers, killing anybody. That is a constitutional right that we have to bear arms. We'll warn you, don't talk about, kick this door down or whatever like that. You got a warrant. Because, we have constitutional rights behind this door. You cross that threshold, you're in a whole different jurisdiction. There's a flag right there. If you're going to talk about arms and bloodshed or whatever, you better have a constitutional right to pack that peace, because guaranteed you, when it comes down to these so-called highwaymen murdering people, they're exercising their constitutional right as a quote-unquote law enforcement officer, that they have an oath of ethics that their job is to uphold the Constitution. And to uphold the Constitution means that they have a right to bear arms. And if you're unconstitutional, Negro, black, colored, etc. Because remember, Mansour Bey wasn't on purpose. That wasn't a black guy that they shot because of whatever. He was an innocent bystander. So you can't even use that as a Moor got shot. Because he was an innocent bystander because pig couldn't shoot. He was an innocent bystander. So he doesn't even count in the casualties of cops that kill black people or cops that killed people. Because he was an innocent bystander. Conspiracy. Was he really? Was it targeted? To create the panic of people not to be Moors because Moors get shot. Don't be Moors. Scare you out of your birthright. Islam to all the Moors. Peace and love, yo. You already know. You already know. Islam to all the active Moors. You know what I mean? I'm seeing the numbers getting higher, so activity is going on. We're in the 30s now in the viewers. We used to be in the 19s and 22s. We're in the 30s now, so word's getting out. So Islam to all the Moors. If your questions did not get answered, just send an email. You already know how it goes. And don't forget, well, I don't know, I didn't get a text, so I don't know what's going on with the show today. We'll see, you know, with Allah's will, everything's working. Because, you know, we had some technical difficulties yesterday. So because of the technical difficulties last week, you know, we don't know what's going on. So we'll find out at 9:30, you know what I mean? The usual, right? MHHS, blogtalkradio.com, MHHS, hyphen, eyes wide open. All right? 9:30. And Islam again to all the Moors. Peace and love. Let's do our closeout. Five on the left, two on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through His holy prophet, Noble Juali. Islam. Peace and love to all Moors, all Negro, black, colored people. Nationalize with the quickness. All you conscious community people, stop fronting. Say that you're Moors, then say you're whatever group you want to be. I don't care after that. But you need to nationalize. That's what it's about right now. Proclaim your nationality or perish. Islam.